What's that? Who there? Whoa.
If you had to write a startup manifesto with 5 of the key lessons or pitfalls to avoid when starting a company, what would they be?
I'm going to actually pull it up just because I wrote this for you. So
yeah,
one was around prioritizing your own well-being. I think you really have to have your cup full in order to effectively give to your people and support your people, not just your people, but your customers. And I think there's definitely exceptions to this rule. There's like folks like Warren Buffett that eat McDonald's every day. And, even like people like Elon Musk are like superhuman and can let their health slip. But I think you could argue that maybe even those people would accomplish more and focus on the right things if they practice more self-care and they took I think we're seeing already a shift in terms of like leaders and CEOs talking about mental health and going from like the philosophy of like, work and growth at all costs to a little bit more of like mindful, sustainable growth. And just, I think that contributes to being a better leader. The second I would say is around generosity. In today's world, it's harder to take someone out to dinner or to coffee. But I think those gestures make a big difference. And I also think there's that same generosity, and I mentioned this earlier, can be applied to your relationships. Not hoarding your relationships. And like, if you think that there's people that should know each other, connecting them, because that's going to come back to you and repay you in kind. This might connect to some of the stuff that you're going to ask around productivity, but it's taking time to be strategic versus being tactical. And you waste time if you don't take a step back to look at the bigger picture and really prioritize and then reprioritize what's most important and what really needs the most focus and attention. I really get stuck in the hamster wheel as well, and have had to make a conscious effort to like take a step back, put time on the calendar to literally just think and not be in meetings. Number 4 is don't waste time building a product no one wants or cares about. In our first startup, we probably spent 6 to 12 months in product development. And in June, we spent 2 months on an MVP in order to then onboard our first customer and get that going, because we were solving an immediate problem. And we were not married in the second iteration. We weren't married to the product, but really we're looking for the vehicle to most effectively fulfill our mission. And then 5, I think having a strong and genuine why. Starting a company is really hard. Doing something that's purpose driven can make it a little bit easier. I think the guard has shifted in terms of people thinking that if you want to make an impact, you have to start a nonprofit. There's been a lot of attention and education on using business as a force for good. The Patagonias, the Sweetgreens of the world have done that. And I think when your back is against the wall and you feel like giving up, having something that's larger than yourself and your team is the best type of motivation.